Welcome again today to my YouTube channel where we learn HR issues. We'll look at it, we'll reason it together, and then we'll solve some HR issues. So I'll say welcome again, and I'll appeal that you please subscribe to this YouTube channel and then share the videos to help others too to handle HR issues in their organizations. So we started a series with HR, workplace ethics, and we looked at what it meant. The last time we asked ourselves questions about those things that we're supposed to do to know that we are actually doing the right thing at the workplace. And today we want to look at what are those things that causes us to not to practice or to put up unethical behaviors or put up unethical practices in our organizations. What are those things? And from there, we'll move on to other things that is related to it. The first one I will take on is pressure to meet targets makes most of us to put up unethical practices. When we are giving targets, or when you give your employee targets that is beyond that you yourself know that this is not reasonable, they will want to cut corners, want to do one or two things that they're not supposed to do to be able to meet those targets. And so they begin to put up those behaviors that is harmful, that is not fair, that is of no benefit to anybody, just to achieve that your set target. So when you set unreasonable target, unrealistic targets, objectives, deadlines that you know that these deadlines are unrealistic, no matter how you try, then people will put up unethical practices for you. Also, if there is acute competition, whether it is within the organization, among the employees themselves, or the company is competing nationally or internationally with other organizations, unethical practices are bound to happen in such organizations when such things happen. Once we put up acute competition, because in the process of trying to be the best, you may want to cut corners, you may want to harm somebody, you may want to not to be fair, you may breach trust, you may breach confidentialities, you may breach integrities, or so many things will go wrong if there is unhealthy rivalry or acute competition that is not healthy at all at all. People are going to put up unethical practices that will not be too good for the organization and even for themselves at the end of the day. When all the chips are down, it will show. When there is economic greed too, when people just want to acquire and acquire and acquire and acquire, they are bound to put up some unethical practices. So because in the process of trying to get what is not due for you, you will compromise, you will do the wrong things, you will do things that you are not supposed to do if you have this economic greed that only you want to have so much, you want to have from this work that you are giving. This little job is where you want to build a mansion, is where you want to buy 10 cars, is where you want to send your children abroad. There is no way you are going to be truthful and honest with your job. You compromise in one way or the other. There are certain things that you put your hands that you yourself know is wrong for you to be, because your salary can't carry that. And so for you to maintain that standard that economically the greed has taken you to, you begin to compromise, you begin to do things that are not supposed to be done within your organization, and it is not good for you. Where you also have poor leadership, people are going to compromise. Where the leaders themselves are not leading very well, people will do what? They will do things that are not supposed to be done. Some people will say, yeah, I paid you to come. But if you pay somebody to come very early and you yourself does not come early, the person will begin to mirror himself or herself towards your pattern. So if you want people to not to be late to work, you too, you're not supposed, except there is something essential that takes you out. Not on daily basis, because I pay somebody to be there at 7 o'clock, you are coming at 12. After some time, the person will also, because the person also have needs that he or she too want to meet, the person will begin to, from 7, you begin to come 7:30, before you know it, she realizes at 8, before you know it, 9 becomes the option. Then, and when they come like that, they begin to write for you the same 7, because you're not here to see it. So if there is poor leadership in all ramification, poor leadership in terms of how finances or resources are handled, people will mirror towards the leaders and they begin to do things that are not okay. And where there is pressure to earn a lot of profit for the organization, or for the person himself and the employee, if you have that pressure to earn so much profit for yourself or for your organization, you begin to do one or two things. I know there are some organizations that will go in, tell the other staffs of the other company, they will buy them to give them information, because that person want to make a little profit for himself. You begin to sell either the patent or the profit, or they start a style of business or whatever it is to outsiders. And so that process, that pressure to make extra, which all of us faces, will lead us to do some unethical practices in our organization. And then some of the informations that we get either from the media or through media is also aids unethical practices in organization. And like I said, if you want to put people to become the ambassador of your organization, it's better you pick people within your organization where your employees will see and say, okay, these people behave well, let me follow their pattern. If you just go outside and you then pick one model, and the model is the person that's in, the people working with you begin to see that model as their icon and begin to mirror towards her. And if you're not careful and the model is just pretty face with poor character, or pretty face, handsome face with poor character, it begin to reflect on the people that are working for you. So if all these little things that I've mentioned kind of help to fuel unethical practices within our organization, so we have to look at it individually as an organization and our people, and make sure we do the right thing. So what are those techniques that we can use to be able to stop unethical practices in our organization? The first one is that every organization should have a handbook, or what we call a code of conduct. Those code of conduct will specify all the behaviors or attitude or characters you expect people when they're in your place of work to have. And once you put it there, the people will begin to use it. So you can punish using it, you can promote using it, you can appreciate using it. Once you have a handbook, it will help to guide people not to put up unethical behaviors. And then you must have an ethical community that influences the conduct of other people. Those your ethical community must be ethical committees, a committee that is within your community that has those good conduct, those good behaviors. You are supposed to have those people in place in your organization. This your committee within your community will be the people that on a permanent basis you begin to show them out to your employees to say, look at, and then you begin to recognize them, begin to appreciate them. Other people will begin to say, these people are that like this, let me follow them, and they begin to do the right thing. And then you have to build transparency into your workplace and into the works. Let there be transparency. Let nothing be hidden from anybody around. Let them see that, hey, this is who we are, this is how. When you're making profit, let them know. When you're not making profit, let them know. So that people will not say, when you were making profit, what did you give us? That you're making profit. If not, they begin to stay thinking that you have. And so if you don't have, let them know that there is none. Where you have, let them know that you have. And let everybody begin to share. Let you know that some people will share, some other people. Those people that you are taking out from the profit, they will find a way to get their own, and that will lead to unethical practices. And also there should be penalties and punishment for anybody that put up unethical practices. When somebody goes wrong, the person should be punished for it. Those punishment could be whatever your handbook have said. It could be demotions, it could be suspensions. So whatever it is, once somebody has breached the code of practice or the code of conduct, please, the person should be punished, so that it will serve as a deterrent for other people not to put up such behaviors. And then all your policies in organization and your working procedures must be clearly stated, so that I don't think I'm doing the right thing, I mean, we're within the organization, it is not the right thing. So let us put up all those things in a clear term, so everybody will notice it and see that this is it. And then finally, like I said before, have provision for penalties. Let it be stated out that for this offense, this is the punishment. For this offense, this is the punishment, so that people will not think you are doing it out of wickedness, or because you don't like them, or because you like to have another person. And whoever has put up a good behavior, please, let also celebrate such a person, promote such a person. Just like you are punishing, let there be carrots, there should be stick, and there should be carrots. People should also be recognized, promoted, rewarded for every good practices that they have put up. While those ones that put up unethical practices too should face a punishment for their unethical practices. That's where we'll stop for today. Next time, we'll keep on moving on to look at these ethical practices and how we can use it in our organization. Thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and then share the videos if it has helped you to other people for them to be helped. Thank you so much.